In today's video, I'm going to talk about why your personal brand can absolutely explode your business, right? Now, if you guys don't know who I am and you're watching this for the first time, I used to work a 9 to 5 job in the UK before I decided to quit, move to Dubai, start my own online business, and I leveraged that by using my personal brand. And I didn't spend any money on ads, I just used my personal brand, and that completely changed my business, right? And I realized at this point that a personal brand is extremely important and it can completely change everyone's business, right? And that's kind of when I started my coaching business. I helped 9 to 5ers start their own online business by leveraging their personal brand. And again, I saw some fantastic results, which showed me, right, that a personal brand can absolutely explode your business. Now, if you're a 6, 7, or 8 figure entrepreneur, founder, or business owner, well, you can start your own personal brand and it will completely change your business. In fact, it will absolutely explode your business, right? Especially if you don't have a personal brand already, or even if you do have a personal brand already, if you leverage that in the correct way, well, you can start making some serious money. And I want to literally break this down in this video because literally any business owner or founder or entrepreneur can do this. All you have to do is start creating content. All you have to do is start putting yourself out there as the face of the business, right? Because when you do that, what you're essentially doing is building trust and value with your audience, because your audience don't necessarily care about your business, they care about you as a person. And we're in the world of AI at the moment. The way the world is going, AI is going to take over and everything's going to be so artificial that the only true way that you're going to be able to stand out is through your personal brand. And this is where companies will benefit massively, right? Because nowadays a lot of people are using AI, maybe AI ads, maybe, creating AI content. But the businesses that actually get the most customers or clients are the ones that are building a personal brand, where the CEO, the entrepreneur, the business owner is basically putting themselves out there and creating content to funnel people into their business. And literally any business owner can do this. Honestly, like every business owner, right? Doesn't matter what business you have, doesn't matter how much exactly you're making, whether it's 6, 7, or 8 figures, doesn't matter. You can literally do this and completely explode your business. Because when there is a face attached to the business, that's when you build the most trust. That's when people have a connection with the business, right? I'll give you guys an example, right? When you think of Apple, you think of Steve Jobs. When you think of Amazon, you think of Jeff Bezos. When you think of Microsoft, you think of Bill Gates, right? All of these people, even if they haven't built a personal brand to that level, but these people are the face of the business. So whenever you think of these businesses, you think of these people, right? Now, I want you to ask yourself, when someone thinks of your business, do they automatically think of you? And if not, then you need to start a personal brand. Because when you start a personal brand, when you start creating YouTube content, when you start creating Instagram content, when you start creating social media content in general, what you're essentially doing is building trust. What you're then doing is building that connection with your audience, right? And when they feel trust and connected with the person or the face of the business, well, they're more likely to become a client or a customer of that same business. And now I'm literally on a mission to help 6, 7, or 8 figure entrepreneurs, founders, or business owners leverage their personal brand to scale their businesses. Now, if that does sound interesting, click the link in the description and book in a call with me. Now, a personal brand is so important, right? Especially going forwards, because a personal brand is what's going to separate you from majority of the businesses, right? And the best thing about a personal brand is that the audience trusts you so much more and they become like loyal followers. Like if your company was to sell something else in the future, right? These people are more likely to buy than if you were to just run out an ad, right? Because they've built that trust, because they've got that connection with you as the face of the business, and because you are the face of the business, and because they trust you, they're going to buy anything you sell them, right? And this is where you can actually scale your business. And a personal brand is so important. In fact, majority now of 6, 7, and 8 figure entrepreneurs are not doing ads anymore. They're scrapping ads completely. What they themselves are doing is just creating raw organic content. And raw organic content is just going to build that trust massively, because your audience is going to trust you, like you, they're going to have that connection with you. They might even relate to you, right? Because most people, when they look at the CEO or the founder or the, business owner or the entrepreneur, they look at them as, overly special, right? They look at them as people they can't level to, right? When ultimately we're all human beings, right? As an entrepreneur myself, as a business owner myself, I know that the stereotype is completely wrong, right? Because I'm just a normal human being. But this is the perception from people outside of your business. And this is why when you start creating content, it shows you off as more of a human element. It shows you off as someone that is just another person, right? Another human being. And this is where the connection is made. This is where they like you as a person. And again, as I said to you, when you start creating content and they like you as a person and they warm up, they're going to be so much more likely to buy from your business. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I do work with 6, 7, and 8-figure entrepreneurs, business owners, or founders and help them leverage their personal brand to scale their business. Now, if you do want help with that, just click the link in the description below, book in a call with me, and we'll take it further from there. And I'll see exactly how I can actually help you. But ultimately, right, if you've got a business and you want to scale it and you want to make more money and you want to take it to another level, all you have to do is build a personal brand around it. And when you do that in the correct way, when you position your personal brand in the correct way, when you start creating the right amount of content and repurposing it on the right social media platforms, well, what's going to happen is you're going to absolutely explode your business. And I'm talking from experience, by the way, because I've worked with complete beginners and scaled their businesses, right, to some ridiculous numbers. I've also worked with some business owners with pre-existing businesses and scaled them to some ridiculous numbers. And not only that, I myself have seen the benefits of having a personal brand because it's completely changed my business without even having to run ads. And what that essentially means is that I'm saving costs long term. Now, if you guys want to know the full story and how I scaled my business by using my personal brand, click the video that you see on your screen and I'll see you guys there.